Welcome to the video. Today we will explain why domestic travel can still trigger immigration checks even if your visa stamp has expired but your status is valid. We will clarify the difference between a visa and immigration status, discuss interior checkpoints, and share practical steps to travel smoothly. Let us begin. In this agenda, we will first define visa versus status. Next, we will examine interior checkpoints. Then, we will list the documents you should carry. After that, we will walk through a smooth passage strategy. We will also address potential friction scenarios, test your understanding with quizzes, and use diagrams to visualize the process. Finally, we will end with key takeaways and a wrap-up. Before proceeding, here is an important disclaimer. This video provides general educational information and does not constitute legal advice. Policies and practices can change, and individual circumstances differ. You should consult a qualified immigration attorney for advice about your specific situation. We are not affiliated with DHS, CBP, USCIS, or any other government agency. With that established, let us continue. Let us clarify the difference between a visa stamp and immigration status. A visa stamp in your passport allows you to seek entry to the United States. By contrast, your status, typically evidenced by an I-797 approval notice or an I-94 record, authorizes you to remain in the United States until a specified date. During domestic travel inside the United States, your current status is what matters, not the validity of the visa stamp. However, you must be able to prove your status promptly if federal agents request it. Here are the key terms. First, the visa stamp is a travel document used for entry or re-entry. Once it expires, it prevents future re-entry, but does not terminate lawful presence if you remain inside the United States. Second, valid status is demonstrated by documents such as the I-797 approval notice and the I-94 record, which prove you are authorized to remain in the country until a specific date. For domestic travel, the critical factor is your valid status, and you must be ready to prove it. The expired visa stamp is not determinative for internal travel. Now let us look at interior checkpoints. Customs and Border Protection operates fixed and mobile checkpoints that can be located up to 100 miles inland. Officers at these checkpoints may briefly question any person about citizenship and immigration status. Even documented non-immigrants can experience scrutiny, which can create friction and delays. Consequently, preparation is essential, even when you are fully compliant with the law. With that context, we can now examine how to prepare your documents. This flowchart shows how to assess readiness for domestic travel. First, verify whether your I-797 or I-94 is current. If not, you should not travel and should consult an attorney. If it is current, ensure your passport is valid. If your passport is not valid, renew it before travel. If you are likely to encounter checkpoints, make sure to carry your I-797 or a clear copy, your printed I-94, and your valid passport. If stopped, present the requested documents and keep answers brief. If there is no discrepancy, you proceed to your destination. If there is any discrepancy, be prepared for the possibility of secondary inspection and remain factual. Here are the steps for must-carry documents. First, carry your current I-797, either the original or a clear copy. Second, print your latest electronic I-94, which displays your admitted until date. Third, bring your valid passport even if the visa stamp is expired. Fourth, organize the documents in a single folder that is easy to access. Fifth, keep baggage minimal to speed up any inspection. Sixth, if questioned, answer truthfully and concisely without volunteering unnecessary information. Seventh, remain calm and courteous. This table summarizes the quick reference checklist. The I-797 is the primary evidence of valid status inside the country. The printed I-94 shows your current admitted until date. A valid passport confirms identity and nationality. Minimal baggage reduces the time and complexity during checks. An organized folder allows you to present proof quickly if questioned. Next, let us compare visa and status directly to reinforce the distinction. This comparison highlights key differences. The visa stamp is used to seek entry at a port of entry and, upon expiration, prevents re-entry after international travel. It is largely irrelevant to domestic travel if your status is valid. By contrast, Valid status authorizes your presence inside the United States until a specific date. If your status expires, you may be out of status. For domestic travel, status is crucial because you must be able to prove it when asked. The visa stamp is in your passport, while status is evidenced by your I-797 and I-94. Now that we have compared them, we will test your understanding with a quiz. Quiz time. The question is, if your visa stamp is expired, but your I-797 and I-94 are current, is domestic travel inside the United States legally permissible? The options are A, B, C, and D as shown. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the correct answer in the next section. The correct answer is B. For domestic travel, valid status as shown by your I-797 or I-94 is what matters. The expired visa stamp affects re-entry after international travel, not domestic movement. However, you must be able to prove your status promptly if asked by federal officers. This timeline will illustrate a typical sequence: arrival with a visa and I-94 issuance, expiration of the visa stamp while the person remains in the United States, filing for an extension, issuance of an I-797 approval with a new I-94, planning a domestic trip, a potential encounter with an interior checkpoint, and presentation of documents. The key point emphasized is that an expired visa stamp does not prevent domestic travel when status is valid and provable. Potential friction points include mismatched names or dates across documents, failure to carry a printed I-94, unclear or low-quality copies of the I-797, and providing nervous or overly detailed answers. Each of these can prolong an encounter. Next, we will address responses that help you remain calm and efficient. If you are stopped, present only the requested items: passport, I-94, and I-797. Keep all answers brief, respectful, and factual. If you are taken to secondary inspection, stay calm and provide your organized folder. If an officer notes a discrepancy, you can politely ask them to verify the online I-94. If you do not understand a question, request clarification before answering. Next, we will do another quick knowledge check. Here is the second quiz. The question is, which document is primary proof of your lawful presence for domestic travel when you are already inside the United States? The options are A through D. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the correct answer in the next section. The correct answer is C. Inside the United States, the I-797 approval notice, together with the I-94 record, is the primary evidence of valid status. The visa stamp is a travel document used to seek entry at the border rather than authorizing ongoing stay. This mind map will place domestic travel preparedness at the center and branch into documents, organization, behavior, checkpoints, and risks. Under documents, it will include the I-797 original or copy, the printed I-94, and a valid passport. Organization will cover using a single folder, clear copies, and clipping the I-94 to the I-797. Behavior will emphasize calm, concise, truthful responses without unnecessary information. Checkpoints will cover the 100-mile zone, brief questioning, and the possibility of secondary inspection. Risks will include mismatches, unclear copies, and missing printouts. Here are actionable tips. Print your I-94 from the official website and attach it behind your I-797. Keep a clear, labeled folder for status documents. Rehearse a 10-second statement to present your status and documents. If driving near checkpoints, store the documents in an accessible place, such as the glove box. Set calendar reminders to review status and document dates in advance of expirations. These are the key takeaways. Domestic travel is based on having valid status rather than a current visa stamp. Interior checkpoints can question anyone, so you must be prepared to prove your status quickly. Always carry your I-797, printed I-94, and valid passport in an organized and accessible way. Keep your answers truthful, brief, and calm. Small preparation steps can significantly reduce friction. Next, we will summarize the entire topic. In summary, an expired visa stamp does not prevent domestic travel inside the United States. Your I-797 and I-94 proving valid status are what matter. Interior checkpoints do exist and can result in brief questioning or secondary inspection. Proper preparation through documents, organization, and demeanor can convert a potentially risky encounter into a routine interaction. For personalized guidance, consult an immigration attorney. Thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, please like the video, share it with friends who travel domestically, and subscribe for more content. Share your questions and experiences in the comments so we can learn together.